We're keeping our eyes on the Gulf Coast as Hurricane Laura continues to gain power just outside Texas and Louisiana. Plus, today we are seeing our lowest number of coronavirus cases since May, and the Republican National Convention is in full swing. 12 at 12 starts right now, 12 minutes, no commercials, and now we are live statewide. So a big shout out to all of our viewers. We're on TV and on the go on the 12 News app, Facebook, and YouTube. Hey guys, it's Tram here. The race for the White House is heating up with the Republican National Convention in full swing. First Lady Melania Trump delivered the keynote address for night 2 of the Republican National Convention. In a break from tradition, she spoke from the newly renovated Rose Garden in front of about 50 people, including family, friends, and cabinet members. The First Lady aimed much of her speech in her own words toward women voters, making a case for 4 more years.
We must make sure that women are heard and that the American dream continues to thrive.
The First Lady also called on Americans to come together during this time and to, quote, stop the violence and looting being done in the name of justice, asking that people instead look forward. Well, there was a little bit of controversy with last night's RNC lineup. Mary Ann Mendoza is the mother of fallen Mesa police officer Brandon Mendoza. He died in 2014 after a wrong-way driver who was in the country illegally crashed into him. Mary Ann was set to speak last night at the RNC, but her speech was removed after she shared an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory on Twitter, telling her followers to, quote, do yourself a favor and read this thread. Well, she deleted that tweet and posted an apology, saying she retweeted the thread without reading every post on it. The RNC said, quote, there's no place for Mary Ann Mendoza's anti-Semitic views. The RNC continues tonight with high-profile speakers, including Vice President Mike Pence, Second Lady Karen Pence, and Kellyanne Conway, who will still speak even though she's leaving the White House at the end of the month. There will be more speakers with the Trump last name, including the president's daughter-in-law and campaign advisor, Laura Trump. With the November election being just a few months away, a lot of us are focused on the best way to cast our ballots. Arizona is known for its mail-in ballot system, and for many, that seems to work. But right now, there are concerns about the Postal Service and ballots not making it in by the deadline. So people are looking for ways to make sure their ballot is counted. There's a viral post going around saying that if you put an extra stamp on your ballot, it will ensure that it gets to your local voting office on time. But is that really true? Let's verify.
Millions of people will be voting by mail for the first time this November. And with so much information about it spreading on social media, it's hard to know what's legit. That's why the Verify team is here to separate fact from fiction. A viewer asked us to verify this post that says, quote, adding a stamp to your postage paid ballot will force USPS to handle it as first class instead of bulk. Our source for this one is the U.S. Postal Service. In a statement, USPS says, quote, if postage on a returning ballot envelope is prepaid by election officials, it is first class mail. So adding postage to the envelope is unnecessary and will not enhance service. So with that, we could verify that false. Adding a stamp to your ballot will not change your service. But there is some more important information that you should know about this process. If your ballot doesn't come postage paid, USPS says each state will decide how much postage is required. But no matter that price, all ballots will be treated as first-class mail. And if you don't use enough postage or forget postage altogether, USPS says the following. In cases where a ballot enters the mail stream without the proper amount of postage, the Postal Service will collect postage from the appropriate Board of Elections. So the main point here is this. Postage or not, your ballot's going to be delivered. Dear Verify, this is Evan Kozlov.
Now to the coronavirus pandemic, where Arizona's numbers have been gradually going down, according to the State Department of Health Services. There were 187 new cases reported today, which is the lowest it's been since May. An additional 104 deaths are also being reported. Business owners who were forced to shut down because of the pandemic are ready to get back to work. This week, businesses are moving full speed ahead and hope to not only reopen, but stay open. Team 12's Mark Liverman is outside of Harkins Theaters, just one of the companies hoping to reopen its doors.
Well, great news for movie lovers, something some people have been waiting a very long time for. Harkins is reopening its doors on Friday. The company, though, is putting safety first, requiring all guests and staff to wear masks. The reopening comes after the Arizona Department of Health Services tweeted yesterday that Maricopa, Pima, and Pinal counties will all likely qualify to reopen in the moderate range this week. According to DHS, certain businesses could reopen if they comply with all requirements, including limited occupancy and enforcing mask requirements. The move comes after the number of positive cases and COVID-like cases in the hospitals are down. Now, if those numbers stay down by tomorrow, gyms can reopen at 25% capacity. Bars with food, theaters, and water parks can all open at 50%, though bars and nightclubs without food will have to stay closed. Yesterday, Mountainside Fitness said it would reopen tomorrow, even after the gym chain's proposal was denied by DHS. Now, despite the promising news, there are still plenty of businesses just not making the cut when it comes to requirements to reopen. As of earlier this week, more than 200 business proposals were denied, but for a list of all of the businesses allowed to reopen, just head to 12news.com. In Phoenix, Mark Liverman, 12 News.
Mark, thanks. Hashtag most clicked. Here are the stories piquing everyone's interest right now. An Arizona man is scheduled to be executed today for a murder back in 2001. Lesmond Mitchell is convicted of killing Alice Slim and her granddaughter Tiffany Lee on the Navajo Nation. Mitchell is the only Native American on federal death row. Last night, a group gathered in downtown Phoenix pushing for a hold on his execution. The Navajo Nation says it objects to Mitchell's execution, which is slated to happen today in Indiana. It was another night of violent protests in Wisconsin. People were seen throwing things at officers as they used tear gas to break up the crowd. We're also learning that 2 people were shot and killed. The violence comes after police shot a black man multiple times in the back. The family of that man, Jacob Blake, now says he's paralyzed from the waist down. Police have said little about what happened other than they were responding to a domestic dispute. The shooting is being investigated. The search continues for one missing boater caught in a monsoon over the weekend at Apache Lake. Rick LeGrand and Deanna Johnson went missing after their boat capsized. Divers recovered Johnson's body and are still trying to recover the body of LeGrand. Sheriff's deputies say debris in the water is making that search difficult, but will resume their search. Happening today, the Phoenix City Council is set to vote on several settlements that could cost taxpayers nearly $2 million. One of them is with the family of Drayvon Ames. His story gained national attention last year. Team 12's Jen Wall joins us from Phoenix. And Jen, what can we expect to happen?
Yeah, the case probably getting the most attention here surrounding the family of Drayvon Ames. Their settlement is expected to be approved by the city of Phoenix, costing $475,000. Now, you may remember last year, the video of their encounter with Phoenix police went viral and sparked protests. An officer swept out Ames' leg from under him, and they also held his pregnant wife at gunpoint. That all happened after one of their children had taken a doll from a dollar store. This settlement would be one of several approved today by the city of Phoenix. The city council is set to vote on 6 separate settlements, which again could total nearly $2 million. One of them potentially costing the city $1 million by itself. Now, in the Drayvon Ames case, the Phoenix police chief fired one of the officers involved, and a news conference is scheduled for later today. Stay with 12 News for updates. For now, we're in Phoenix. Jen Wall, 12 News.
Jen, thank you. Right now, we are keeping our eyes on the Gulf Coast as Hurricane Laura continues to gain power just outside Texas and Louisiana. The powerful storm continues to grow as Marco fizzles out. The hurricane is now a Category 4 storm and is expected to deliver a devastating blow late today and early tomorrow to coastal cities. Hurricane warnings and storm surge warnings have been issued for portions of the Texas and Louisiana coasts. Back here in Arizona, we are dealing with more extreme heat and a very dry monsoon. Here's Team 12's meteorologist Jamie Cagle with your forecast 411.
Yeah, we're still going to be reaching above that 110 mark, but in the 7-day forecast, there is some good news. Maybe actually some near normal or say below normal temperatures showing up. But today in Phoenix around 112. We're staying away from the record high there. For Tucson, 107. Your record is 108, so we'll be awfully close. For Flagstaff, 87 degrees. Payson at 93, 92 in Prescott. Quartzsite and Lake Havasu City, 113 for today. Excessive heat warning staying in place. And for tomorrow, for the valley, it will stay in place at least through Friday. Exclusive monsoon meter to 12 News. The numbers have dropped just a little bit. 2 to the north, 3 in the White Mountains, southeast Arizona, a 2, and I would really focus towards western Pima County there, a 1 in the valley. Here's a look at the Futurecast, and as we roll into these afternoon hours, there is a little bit of activity along the rim as well as western Pima County. It drops to the southwest, but it doesn't look like it's going to set much off for the valley. I think the northwest side of the valley may pick up a chance at some rain, but so far it has really been a hit or miss scenario, so it doesn't look all that promising. For the great Arizona 3-day forecast, rain chances drop off Tuesday into Wednesday into Thursday. For southern Arizona, I think today, but probably not for Tucson. It'll be western Pima County. And for the 7-day forecast, it's looking better for early next week with a nice little cool down.
Yeah, it sure does. Thanks, Jamie. Hey, it is National Dog Day today. Big shout out to Tucson for being named the most dog-friendly city in America. That's huge. That prestigious title comes from the finance group Smart Asset. The rankings looked at the number of dog parks, dog-friendly restaurants, pet stores, and vet offices available in each area. Time now for the look ahead, the stories you'll be talking about a little later on today. The class of 2021 being redefined day by day. We're talking with 2 Valley families, one whose students are learning from home and another whose kids are back in the classroom. And we are verifying some of the claims made in last night's Republican National Convention from President Trump's son and the granddaughter of evangelist Billy Graham. That's coming up at 4 o'clock. And that's your 12 at 12, the facts on everything you need to know in just 12 minutes, no commercials. We're always on, anywhere, anytime on 12news.com, the 12 News app, and all of our social media channels as well. We hope you make it a great day today, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you back here again soon.